Megan Zink. I am the Senior Director of Demand Gen Marketing at a company called ReviewTrackers. So sharing a little bit about that. We actually were just acquired by a company called InMoment, which is a customer experience improvement platform. So we kind of make up that ecosystem. So our company actually allows you to make sense of unstructured data like reviews and customer feedback. And definitely check out the Digital Expo Hall because we have an offer for you. So definitely check that out. It's great to be here. Like I said, I have had a lot of experience in marketing. I am just a couple months shy of being in marketing for a decade. So I've been all over the place. I had a bit of a non-traditional background. I cut my teeth, like I was saying, at a social media agency. So I've got a little bit of that agency experience. So that's kind of what I'll be bringing into this talk today is that empathetical understanding of what it's like on an agency side and why, it might be doomed. But with my optimism, it doesn't have to be. And that's what I want to talk about. Fun fact, because I was asked for a fun fact, I actually got into Milky Way photography over the pandemic. And I took my first photo in Moab, Utah. So if you want to connect with me on marketing or even photography, please find me on LinkedIn. I love talking both topics. Cool. So where does this come from? Where is this hot take? Well, basically, it comes from personal experience. So like I said, I was actually in a marketing agency beforehand. Then I went in-house and I was doing all the things. I came into ReviewTrackers as a content marketing manager and have since kind of grown with the company into Senior Director of Demand Gen. But I had to scale really fast. And I heard a lot of, we tried to work with an agency in the past. It didn't ever work out. We didn't ever see success. I had frustrations with clients, even on my side when I was working in the agency. That was a wild time. It was like drinking from the fire hose. I, was taking meetings at a card table in a co-working space. And then by the time I left after about 2 years, I was managing Potbelly social media. But that came with a lot of challenges. So understanding the frustrations with the clients on the agency side, I think that's what helped me to understand, it doesn't have to be doomed. But I think that people look at the way that we have relationships with our agencies a little bit differently than maybe they need to. So like I said, it's hard. A lot of times they don't pan out. You'll have skeptics. You'll maybe even have haters. I definitely had some, I like to try and understand where people are coming from when I get into a role. And so I did a lot of interviewing my coworkers and saying, hey, understood that you worked with an agency before. What went well? What didn't go well? And really the consensus was always, it just didn't work. And I was like, I'm not going to take that for an answer because I had to scale fast. So, with the data's not looking that great. And that's why this is a hot take is according to the American Advertising Agency, the Association of Advertising Agencies, the Bedford Group, the average client relationship with an agency is actually decreasing, and it's decreased more than 58% over the past 30 plus years. So, back in the 80s, we were at a nice, healthy seven, maybe 7.5 years. Now we're at less than 3 years today. I think a lot of that has to do with that, like, very quick, rapid pace of what marketing has really become. But I think it's also that we're all approaching our agency relationships wrong. So how did I get to this point, you might ask? I needed to scale real fast. So we had some very aggressive growth goals. I have a very lean team and I needed to do a lot with a little. I oversee our agency relationships. I also oversee our content strategists, content producers. So we have 2 content strategists / producers, 2, and we publish about 3 to 4 posts a week on top of all the other things we do, case studies and everything. I oversee an automation specialist, digital channel specialist, and I also see a social media strategist. And so what we needed to do is we needed to go very, very, very fast. I knew we didn't have the bandwidth internally. And so I needed to look for other options. And despite all of the background that I got previously, agency relationships don't work, I was like, that's not good. Like, I'm not going to take that for an answer. So we are now working with an agency. We work with the agency both on PPC and SEO. And we've been working with them since, I believe, about last March. So about a year and a half on PPC. And we actually brought them on for additional SEO resources in November of last year. So it really hasn't even been that long. So I'll also tell you that patience is a virtue here. But since that time, these were some really exciting stats for me to see and to share with you. We've generated over $800,000 in pipeline for about almost $500,000 of dollars spent. So we've definitely, 1.7'd it. It's not a perfect, obviously we'd like to see that margin be more, but I think that's very encouraging. And that's also, we worked some kinks out and things like that with our own processes. We've also increased our branded keyword searches for ReviewTrackers, things like that, by 142% each. So that to me is a really good indicator that we're starting to take hold in the market. And then also increased total opportunities from organic search by 366%. That was incredible. So as you can see, this is really building my case. Like I said, I wasn't going to take no for an answer because I was like, you want me to do what with what? And I knew we had to go external.